A lot of people don't know that the label on your shampoo, if it says moisturizing, hydrating, deep conditioning, daily moisture, all of these things, if you see it's formulated with any kind of oil, that's probably why your hair is greasy, because our scalps already produce more than enough oil. This video is specifically for people to help to pinpoint what kind of hair do they have, because a lot of people, they don't even know how to properly take care of their hair. They don't even know what a hair type is. If they have a hair type, they just know that their hair is a grease fest, or it's chronically dry, or it's super sensitive, or it's oily on top and dry on the bottom. There's also other things that people deal with too, which is like chronic dandruff, chronic hair shedding. These things could pertain or be related to health. Again, I'm not a healthcare practitioner. I'm not an expert. If you do think it could be health related, please see your healthcare practitioner. However, if you don't think it is, please keep watching. For all the hair types, I'd recommend investing in some kind of detangling brush. There are different brushes based off of your hair. If you have very curly, very kinky hair, they do make certain brushes for your hair type. This is one that I found on Amazon. I think it only cost me like $5. I can drop the link down in the description box below. But you can see it has many of those bristles on it, but they're also very bendy, very, very flexible. And this is what really helps to detangle the hair. For me, I have to brush my hair whenever it's wet because I do have wavy hair. And unfortunately, my hair has a habit that if I don't detangle it whenever it's wet, it has a terrible habit of wanting to wrap around itself and continue to tangle and continue to mat. So I have to brush my hair whenever it's wet. So that's why I have this detangling brush that I use right after the shower. Always start on the ends and then work your way to the top. Another brush I would highly recommend is gonna be a wooden brush. A wooden bristle brush is anti-static. It's gonna cause your hair to continue to keep that moisture in there. It won't cause it to become fluffy and frizzy. That oftentimes a lot of people find is what happens whenever they do go to brush their hair. So I would recommend that if you find you don't like static, that it's also great as well for stimulating hair growth, your scalp, and as well, especially with oily hair, it helps to distribute those oils a little bit whenever you do go to brushing your hair. A wooden hairbrush is great for all hair types because it's gentle enough. It is great at reaching down into the roots and spreading the oils and stimulating hair growth. The section of the video is gonna be for my oily hair types, meaning you wash your hair and then either later that day or the next day, your hair is a complete and utter grease fest. It doesn't matter how much you wash your hair, it's always greasy. It doesn't matter if you try to train your hair to be less greasy. I'm sure we all heard about that from watching other hair care routines or people talking about how to grow your hair long and telling you need to train it. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no way to train your hair to be less greasy, just like there's no way to train your hair to be less dry or to be less sensitive. It is a hair type that you're born with based off of genetics. And the sake of this portion of the video is to help you treat it, to help you better formulate a routine, to help it maybe not to be as dry or to be as greasy or to be as sensitive. And where we're gonna start is with the oily hair types. We're gonna start with your shampoo. A lot of people don't know that the label on your shampoo, if it says moisturizing, hydrating, deep conditioning, daily moisture, all of these things, if you see it's formulated with any kind of oil, that's probably why your hair is greasy. Because our scalps already produce more than enough oil. Again, talking about my oily hair type girlies. It's already producing more than enough oil. Whenever you're adding more oils, more humectants, more moisture to your scalp, it's gonna make it flat, it's gonna make it greasy, it's gonna make it oily because your scalp is already doing all of the work to make sure that your hair stays hydrated. And that's what sebum is, that oil, that grease, that is just your scalp signaling, okay, this is dry, I need to produce oil. And that's normal. Sebum is so healthy. It's literally what keeps a seal on your hair and keeps it healthy. However, It can be really annoying. So oily hair types, I have found for myself personally as well, it's based off of the shampoo that you're using. It could even be a trial and error that you're using a conditioner on your scalp. Conditioner does not need to go on your scalp if you have oily hair, because conditioner puts a seal on the hair to keep moisture in. And what can happen is whenever you put this on your scalp, it's putting that seal, and it's going to cause your scalp to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I need more oil. This moisture, there's so much moisture on here, I have to produce more because it's keeping it all locked in. That's another issue that I found for my oily hair type girlies, is that they're putting conditioner on their scalp. Another thing that you could be doing wrong is, I know that a lot of people use dry shampoo. However, for oily hair, dry shampoo it will just make it more oily. It will make it look great the first time you use it, and then the following day it's gonna be a grease fest, because your hair is freaking out because it's too dry now. That's the downside whenever you have oily hair, is your hair is so good at moisturizing. Anything that you put on it, it will freak out and it will overproduce more oil. What I would recommend instead of using dry shampoo is investing in a Boar Bristle hairbrush. What this is gonna do, I can get you a close up, is the Boar Bristle hairbrush. So actually in ancient times, this is what a lot of women back in the day would use, so that way the oil could spread down to the lower lengths of their hair. It is, unfortunately, I want to say a lost art. Not enough people use Boar Bristle hairbrushes anymore because it's no longer advertised in society. People don't recommend. This is not a brush you use for detangling. These specific Boar Bristle brushes are used for distributing oils down to your scalp. No, down to the ends of your hair. Because if you try to detangle with the Boar Bristle brush, it's going to get more matted, it's going to get more tangled. You will not get very far. This specific brush is made to distribute oils throughout your hair. I'd recommend this instead of dry shampoo, because another side effect of dry shampoo that a lot of people don't want to admit or tend to gloss over, especially whenever they're advertising a product for their company, unless it is all natural. It is made from arrowroot powder, baking soda, and cornstarch. It is going to cause your hair to fall out because of the harsh, harmful ingredients that are contained in dry shampoos. If you'd like to know more, you're more than welcome to go to my blog. I'll put it in the description box down below. So we went over the don'ts for oily hair. Well, what are the do's? What do you buy in order to help your oily hair to be less oily? What you do want to do with your shampoos, look for volumizing, look for clarifying, look for deep cleaning, not deep conditioning. And also look for shampoos that preferably have sulfates. I know that it's been an ongoing debate, especially with like the all natural, the all clean beauty community. It's at your own discretion. If you've used sulfates in the past and you notice that's whenever your hair was the healthiest, please continue using sulfates. If you find that you've done your research and you don't like sulfates, stay away from sulfates. Invest in a sulfate-free shampoo. One of the best ones I would recommend that I love, that has helped my hair actually get on a healthy track, is the Arm & Hammer sulfate-free line that they offer. Amazing. It has completely changed the overall health of my hair. Highly recommend. I'm not sponsored by any of the products that I recommend in this video. It is 100% at my own personal recommendation. Another thing I would recommend is a conditioner. Find a conditioner that you personally enjoy using. You know that you'll use it. And also with conditioner, you want to use a lot of it. And by a lot, I don't mean like half the bottle. I mean like anywhere from that much to that much of conditioner. Whereas with shampoo, typically you want to use like a dime size amount, maybe a little bit more depending on the formula. I typically eyeball it. But for our conditioners, we want to look for lightly moisturizing. You can even match whatever shampoo to the conditioner. I'm a mix and matcher. If I find a shampoo that I love, I'll look for a separate conditioner that I love. Because I've also found too, sometimes whenever I match shampoo and conditioners, it doesn't exactly give me the results that I want because I have a combo hair type. My scalp is really oily, my ends are really dry. So if I use the volumizing shampoo and conditioner combo, the volumizing conditioner is not going to dry my ends because it won't have any oils in it. So it won't actually hydrate my hair. I love the Garnier conditioners that they offer. I've been using them for years. They've helped me the best. If you find that you don't like drugstore, you don't trust drugstore, you only want to use. Another tip for oily hair, shampoo twice. Yes, twice. And what I mean is you shampoo, you get it clean, you get some more, shampoo it again. Just because I find whenever I would in the past, and by past, I mean literally many years of my life, up until I want to say the past 3 years, I would find shampooing once just never ever fully cleaned my scalp. I still had oily residue. My hair would get greasy the following day. It did not matter how strong of a shampoo that I used. It would always, always, always get greasy. So I would recommend shampooing twice. I would also recommend finding or formulating some way of an aftercare routine. Like, it can be as complicated as you want, it can be as short as you want. It totally depends to your lifestyle, how much time that you have. Because most of us, we work a 9 to 5, we have a busy schedule, or honestly, we're just lazy. We don't want to spend hours and hours in the bathroom, and I can totally relate and understand that. So we're gonna formulate a simple routine of investing in a detangling spray, getting a leave-in conditioner, whether that be, again, another spray, depending on if your hair is more fine or more thick. If it is on the thicker side, I would invest in a leave-in cream. And then lastly, getting a hair serum or a hair oil. Again, depending on what your hair type is, if it's more fine or if it's more thick, that's where you should decide if you should get a more hydrating formula or a more lighter formula. That just boils down to the reviews and figuring out what people say about certain products. For oily hair too, I would also recommend, if you are somebody that works out a lot, wearing a hat. Wearing a hat whenever you go outside, because what could also be causing your hair to get oily is pollutants in the air. And it could also be the hard water in your shower. So you might want to invest in a shower filter. But being outside in the elements can really cause your hair to get greasy. And that can be based off of pollution in your area. That can be based off of pollen. It can irritate your scalp and make you produce more oil. And honestly, just being outside, sweating in the sun will make anybody's hair a grease fest.